Okay, we had some audio issues last time we were streaming, so or rather recording. So we'll I I just wanna try to make sure that that's settled. So give me a second while I check the recording and see if it sounds okay. Okay, it looks like our audio is okay. So we'll go ahead with the game. Okay, I think resume live should load the last save game. So if I remember right, we were in the mortuary. We were trying to escape. We got a key. This hovering skull called Mort has been helping us. Uh, he has been directing us to the key and like to some basic things that we should keep in mind. And he has also been explaining about the about what this place is, not in detail. We didn't ask him too much, but he did mention that the zombies were cheap labor. That the shambling zombies sold their soul to the caretakers after they died, or sold their bodies or soul. I don't know which one it was. They sold either their body or their soul after they died, and they're cheap labor. They have been running the mortuary, doing whatever the caretakers want to do, I guess. And I'm not sure if I'm remembering this correctly, but I think the caretakers were called testmen, and Death also visits the plane every day. That is also something interesting that I remember. There seems to be this thing, this uh, what's the word? Death has been characterized as a real, maybe an entity or a person which visits the plane, which is interesting to think about. And it's in like such a nice point right now where we don't know what's outside the mortuary, like what kind of a world we are expecting outside. Is it maybe uh, apocalyptic? Is everything, has everything gone to shit? Like we don't know. Once we go out and discover the world, that mystery is gone. So it's in a very interesting and intriguing position now, where I have barely any knowledge of what's going to happen. So it's exciting in that sense. But let's see. Let's dive ahead. Oh, the load is almost instant.
All right.
Okay. So I think we have an option to talk to Mort about more things. That's what I wanted to do first. Talk to Mort about whatever he can tell me about this world or where we are stuck in. Interesting animation for zombies. And these ones have a mohawk, which is very it's very edgy for a zombie. It totally gave me the wrong impression when we first saw the initial cutscenes. So we see the Mohawk zombie pushing our body to this mortuary, and it looked like he knew what he was doing, but at least he, like, the vibe was that uh, he's a more stylish zombie maybe. Uh, okay, so what else? Ah, okay. I've also been told about the alignment system, which should be present somewhere here. Mm, should be in the character menu maybe. How do I open the character menu? Inventory, mage spell, statistics. So, okay. So this must be the alignment. This represents your disposition towards good or evil, low or chaos. Current alignment true neutral. Okay, we are starting as true neutral. True neutral characters believe in maintaining the balance of law and chaos. They don't tip the scales between the two and tend to oppose anyone who does. Hmm. I'm still unsure about what constitutes a law and what constitutes chaos. Uh, because the impression I got was that law is maybe a bit more good in a sense, and chaos is maybe like purely for the sake of things, and uh, not even in a good way. Like Okay, let's see where it goes. Maybe I'll get more understanding of it further. Information. Okay. Fighter experience next level. Oh, after killing a single zombie, I think we only killed a single zombie. We got 36 XP. We were 6,000 earlier, if I remember correctly. Proficiencies. Taco. I have no idea what that is. Number of attacks 1. Lore 8. What's a taco? THACO. Saving throws. Paralysis, poison, death 13. Road staff wand. Breath weapon. Spell. Weapon proficiencies. It's like, I don't know what any of this means. Biography. First thing I remember is crawling off a metal slab in some vaulted monstrosity called the mortuary, and some floating skull asked me a bunch of damn questions. I've lost my memory, I've lost my possessions, and the only thing I seem to know is that I can get stabbed, beaten, burned, and I get better. This regeneration of mine hasn't done much for my looks, but no one seems to notice. Okay, so we see him turning into this zombie kind of appearance, looking at the mirror. It could not have happened that fast, I would imagine, and I'm not sure if this is the reason why he looks so scarred and uh, corpse-like. The fact that he has been through all of this, but he still gets better. That I don't know. I need to figure out who I am and how I got this way. I feel like something's missing, something inside, but I don't know what. Oh, okay. Now I remember we are supposed to go get our journal back from this person named Farod. Was that his name? Let's look at our journal to maybe see. Find Farod. From what Mort read from the directions tattooed on my back, I need to find someone named Farod. I'm not certain where to start looking. Hopefully asking some of the locals in the strange place will allow me to track him down. What are these locals? Locals are at the moment we only have zombies. Find a missing journal. From what Maud read from the directions tattooed on my back, I was supposed to have a journal with me when I woke up in the mortuary. I better find it. Hopefully, it can help me figure out what's going on. Okay. I don't know who I am, what I'm doing here, or even how I got here. The only reason I encountered was the only person I encountered was a chattering skull called Mort. While he was checking on my wounds, he'd scoured the two directions. And I feel like you could drink a few wish. Center yourself. Among your possession is a journal. Center is highlighted. That'll shed some light on the dark of the matter. Farod can fill you in on the rest of the chant. He's not in the dead book already. Dead book. Don't lose the journal, or we'll be up the sticks again. Whatever you do, do not tell anyone who or what happens, who you are or what happens to you, or they'll put you on a quick pilgrimage to crematorium. Do what I tell you. Read the journal and find Pharaoh. What happens to you? Interesting. Did I leave this message for myself? Looks like I need to find this Pharaoh and my journal. So does people discover this regenerating ones and then just send them to the crematorium if they realize that he has regenerative abilities? Enter search term. Okay. Bees. Sorry. Wow, it's in bees? Okay, I guess we are a beast. Let me quickly check the audio again once more to make sure it's running fine. Give me a moment. Okay, we seem to be doing good so far. Oh yeah, there's PC and NPC. Okay, so you go to Beast and then you have player characters and non-player characters. Zombie female, zombie male. Okay, I didn't notice. Zombies are mindless corpses animated by necromancy. Unlike skeletons, zombies still have a great deal of flesh attached to their frame, and this is both an advantage and disadvantage. It makes them tougher and stronger than skeletons, but at the same time, rigor mortis hinders their movement, making them much slower than a normal human being. Although zombies move and attack very slowly, their great strength becomes apparent when they catch a target. Their blows are capable of killing a normal human being with a single punch. Oh wow. Zombie female and zombie. So this is zombie male, okay. This is zombie female. Unlike skeletons, zombies are okay. Understand? Is it the same? And even just looking at the portrait. Okay, it's the same. Journal quests completed. We haven't completed a single quest so far. Okay, and we should talk to Mort. Let's get our bearings. Golden flame or yellow flame. Mort is 20. Nameless one is 30. Okay, I think this is the dialogue option. We click on Mort.
What's eating you, Chief?
What's eating you, Chief? Okay. Can you read to me what's tatted on my back again? You'll just read the. Oh, come on, Chief. Don't tell me you forgot already. I'm going to be hearing that a lot. Let's see. And I feel like you have. Okay, this is something you have read already. Farad. Keep going. I will. I will. Hold on. Alright, here's the last bit. Don't lose your journal. And there wasn't a journal even I got. Stripped to the skin. Nope. Still some Berks go to know where to find him. Let's ask around after we get out of here. So what is a Berk? We still don't know. Or at least I don't know. Maybe maybe they have full context. Before we go, I had some other questions.
What's eating you, Chief?
What's this place again? It's called Mortuary. Big back structure. The okay. We've read that. Got it. I had other questions for you.
What's eating you, Chief?
What are the caretakers of this place again? They call themselves a dustmen. You can't miss them. They have an obsession with black and rigor mortis of the face. Black and rigor mortis. Okay, rigor mortis again I think is what happens, like the physical changes that happen after death happens to a body. They're adult bunch of ghoulish death worshippers. They believe that everybody should die sooner better than later. Weren't you listening? I said the Dusties believe everybody's got to die sooner better than later. You think the corpses you've seen are happier in the dead book than out of it? So they just want to kill everyone, is it? Killing and death may not be the same thing in the same sense, maybe. Okay. Got
What's
it.
eating you, Chief?
The corpses here, where did they all come from? Death visits planes every day, Chief. These shamblers are all that's left of the poor souls who sold their bodies to the caretaker after their death. So, bodies to the caretakers after death. They sold their bodies to caretakers after death. Got it.
What's eating you, Chief?
Before you said something about making sure I didn't kill any female corpses. I think we explored this. It'll try to remember that. Oh, okay. That just took me right out.
What's eating you, Chief?
How do I use these bandages? Do you use bandages on yourself? You use them. Staunch bleeding and all that. Use bandages on yourself. Right click on one while on the inverted screen to use another person. First place them in one of your quick slot items. Next select the bandage icon from the item quick menu on the world screen. Click on your target. Okay. Got it.
What's eating you, Chief?
Okay, so there was no new information there. That was just we could talk to him and ask him to repeat the info that he gave in previous interactions, which is a nice touch. We can still see some of the previous dialogues using this menu here, I think. Okay, which is also a nice touch. But in addition to that, you can go through the list of questions again with him using this option. Great.
Sure, why not?
Oh no, select everyone. Okay, maybe Drag and select. Okay.
All right.
Okay, so we are supposed to go to forward. Zombie worker. Shall I try to talk to the zombie worker? There isn't an option to talk. Dust, bloodstains, rust, and other remains cover the surface of this metal slab. It's much larger than most of the other slabs and is sitting on a platform that allows it to be rotated. It's larger than other slabs. Okay, you can see it's almost double as wide as the slabs in the other room. Here the slabs are much smaller. Here it's double as large and it can be rotated. Same here. Okay. Look at this shelf. What are they doing here? There seems to be nothing interesting in this room other than the larger slabs. We are supposed to go here. More zombies. Oh, we have some active operations happening here, maybe. Zombie worker. Ah, we have someone here. Let's check these boxes. Receiving room logbook. Receiving room. The other one was preparation room. This is receiving room. This huge logbook lists mortuary procedures in a tight, crabbed script. What's a crabbed script? All shells entering the mortuary are to be delivered to the receiving room. Shells, interesting. And logged with the scribe on duty before being embalmed or cremated. Okay. Is this guy the scribe? The records are to be checked to determine if the shell is one of the contracted, and if so, do not prepare the shell. Move the shell to one of the preparation rooms. Contact the scribe on duty and notify him that a contracted shell is to be raised. Interesting. All shells entering delivered to the records are to be checked to determine if the shell is one of the contracted. So okay, so they receive something and they either embalm them or cremate them, but before that they'll check if a contract has been made in the name of the shell that was received. And if it was contracted, then they move them to a preparation room. Notify him that a contracted shell is to be raised. Be certain that the shell is thoroughly stripped of its possessions before being sent to the preparation room. The contracted workers are intended for simple manual labor and do not have the capacity to search and strip a shell. So we were also stripped to the skin before we woke up. So we probably were one of the contracted ones. The faction is not responsible for any possessions lost or items stolen by collectors who have brought the shells to the mortuary. The shell's possessions are to be stored in the receiving room until an initiate can be sent to claim them. Following this list is thousands of entries of bodies that have been sent to the receiving room. As you flip through the rest of the book, however, you notice the last page has been cut out. Okay. Last page of the receiving room logbook has been cut out. Interesting. Copper commons. Fist irons. Okay, we got some money. Fist irons. 2 for crushing. Speed 1, weight 1, proficiency fist. Not usable by mages. This crude iron bar is designed to slip over the fist with the thick portion resting in the palm and the iron ring facing outwards over the knuckles. While wearing these fist irons, a single punch can shatter someone's jaw. Note: many weapons in Torments do similar amounts of damage. Okay, maybe this is one of the enhanced edition notes. Many weapons in Torment do similar amounts of damage, but the type of damage each weapon does varies. Some creatures are more vulnerable to certain types of damage than others. If your current weapon isn't doing much damage against a creature, chances are it is resistant to it. Switch off weapons and see which one works best. Interesting. Okay. So certain types of, it's not in character screen. Where do we change our equipment? Inventory. Inventory screen. That's where we change our weapon. So we have a scalpel now. We can maybe put a fist iron. Doesn't seem to have visual effect. Scalpel is 1-3 piercing. It doesn't weigh anything. I don't know what the weight does actually. This weighs 1. So what does this weight do? 2 for crushing. Is there a attack damage somewhere here? Okay, anyway. Let's move on. So they are either embalming or I guess cremation doesn't happen here. Maybe embalming them before being sent somewhere. I think here. Oh, give me a second. I have a call. Give me a second. Yeah, sorry about that. Okay, let's get back to it. Where were we? Okay, we were in the receiving room. Oh, like we're in the receiving room, and we are Dhall. Who is Dhall? Classic gamer fashion. We are going to explore everything around the main character before going to him, or whatever this is. Okay, so let's go here. Get what's in this chest. Nothing there. The corpse is completely warped, wrapped in bandages like a mummy. This body is completely covered by a rough, dark cloth. These barrels contain a murky liquid. It smells like a cross between vinegar and formaldehyde. This barrel contains a murky liquid. We don't want. It's not a door, right? It's a question mark. So I think it will be okay. This corpse is completely wrapped in bandages like a mummy. I should just talk. This book is huge. It must contain thousands of names. We can't interact with this person. We can. What if we... This gate looks sealed shut. There is no lock or other means of opening it. Okay, we don't have to worry about it. We might be able to go this way, but we'll talk to this person first. Okay. This scribe looks very old. His skin is wrinkled and has a slight trace of yellow, like old parchment. Charcoal grey eyes lie within an angular face, and a large white beard flows down the front of his robes like waterfall. His breathing is ragged and irregular, but even his occasional coughing does not slow the scratching of his quill pen. He's very absorbed in his work, maybe. Greetings. Whoa, Chief, what are you doing? Oh, Mortis interjecting us to maybe prevent some disaster. I was going to speak with the scribe. He might know something about how I got here. Look, rattling your bone box with Dusty should be the last thing. Probably he replies now. Yep. Before Mort can finish his rant, the scribe begins coughing violently. After a moment or two, the coughing spell dies down and the scribe's breathing resumes his ragged wheeze. Okay, he isn't responding yet. He has turned, his character model has turned towards us, it looks like, but he hasn't responded yet. Look, rattling your bone box with Dusties. What's a bone box? This Mort has his own like terminology. I'm trying to get into. Uh, Dusties are dustmen, right? And we especially shouldn't be swapping the chant with. What is this chant? Is it just talking that he's calling chant? And we especially shouldn't be swapping the chant with sick Dusties. Come on, let's leave. The quicker we leave this place, the quicker we give this place the laugh, the bet. Again, some coughing maybe. Scribe's grey eyes flicker to you. The weight of years hang heavy upon me, restless one. He places down his quill. But I do not yet count deafness among my ailments. Okay, so he has heard his greetings and the argument that we are having. Restless one. Are we the restless one? Know you, I? There's a trace of bitterness in the scribe's voice as he speaks. I have never known you, restless one. No more than you have known yourself. For you have forgotten, have you not? God damn it, what? I have never known you, restless one. No more than you have known yourself. For you have forgotten, have you not? Who are you? As always, the question. And the wrong question as always. He bows slightly, but the moment suddenly sends him into a bow of coughing. Oh my god. He pauses for a moment, catches his breath. I am Dhall. Perhaps you can answer some questions for me, Dhall.
Updated my journal.
Okay, journal updated. Very well. What do you wish to know? Oh god, too many options. What is this place? You are in the mortuary, restless one. Again, you have come. Before he can finish, more coughing. After a moment, he calms himself and his breathing resumes in a ragged wheeze. This is the waiting room for those about to depart the shadow of this life. Aren't these all dead bodies already? This is the waiting room. Okay. Tell me about the mortuary. These are the dead are okay. This is where the dead are brought to be interred or cremated. It's our responsibility as dustmen to care for the dead, those who have left this, those who have left this shadow of life and walk the path of true death. Dhal's voice drops in concern. Your wounds must have excited a heavy toll if you do not recognize this place. It is almost your home. Okay. Those who have left this shadow of life and walk the path of true death. Shadow of life. We seems to be nesting deeper and deeper inside this dialogue tree, which I am very concerned about because how many options are we going to have? Shadow of life. Yes, a shadow, you see. Restless one, this life, it's not real. Your life, my life, they are shadows. Flickering of what life once was. This life is where we end up after we die. And here we remain trapped, caged, until we can achieve the true death. Okay? See, this life is not real. They are shadows. Okay? True death. We are still nesting deeper. True death is non-existence, a state devoid of reason, of sensation, of passion. Gives it a state of purity. Okay? Sounds like oblivion. Why would anyone want that? Can you tell me more about the mortuary? Okay, I think this is the way we can go back up the nested dialogue tree. Uh, Sounds like oblivion. Why would anyone want that? Is it worse than remaining in the shadow of what life once was? I think not. Shadow of life? Does it go back? True death. What makes you think this life isn't real? What makes you think this life is real? Look inside yourself. Do you not feel something lacking? This is purgatory. There is only sorrow here, misery, torment. These are not elements that make up life. These are part of the cage that traps us in this shadow. Misery, torment. This is purgatory. Purgatory is, I don't know what technically or like the formal interpretation of a purgatory. Is it just hell? I just assume it's just hell. Maybe in some literature there is a more concrete definition for what a purgatory is. Maybe that context is what they're referring to here. Not sure. I think your fatalism has fatalism. I don't even know what I don't know what fatalism is. I need to check what that is. Fatalism. Fatalism. A submissive mental attitude resulting from acceptance of the doctrine that everything that happens is predetermined and inevitable. The philosophical doctrine holding that all events are predetermined in advance for all time and human beings are powerless to change them. I think your fatalism has gotten the better of you. Those elements are part of life, but not the whole of it. There is only sorrow here. Cages, how? I wanna remain like more uh, flexible at this point. Dhall shakes his head. Passions carry weight. They anchor many to this shadow of life. As long as one clings to emotion, they will be continually reborn into this life, forever suffering, never knowing the purity of true death. Kill your passions. So we're asking him if how we can escape the cycle. Kill your passions. Strip yourself of the need for sensation. When you are truly cleansed, then the cycle of rebirth will end and you will achieve peace. Uh, it sounds like a death rattle in his throat. He sighs. Okay, sigh is what sounds like a death rattle. Past these shells of ours, past the eternal boundary, lies the peace that our souls seek. Eternal boundary. The boundary between shadow of this life and the true death. Shadow of this life, we can go back again. Oh, wait. You do not feel something lacking? Oh, I accidentally clicked this option about fatalism. This is purgatory. There is only sorrow here. Dhall shakes his head. Passions carry weight. They anchor us to. Tell me more about mortuary. This is where the dead are voting to be interred or cremated. It's a responsibility of Desmond to care for the dead, those who have left this shadow of life and walk the path of true death. Your wounds must have exacted a heavy toll if you do not recognize this place. It's almost your home. True death, Dustman. True death again is non-existence. Okay. Let's ask about Dustman. We Dustmen are a faction of gathering of those of us that recognize the illusion of this life. We await the next life and help others on their journey. So you yourself is stuck here. Why are you stuck here? Just to help people? Or you are also tied here by some emotion that you are unable to get rid of? It is said that there are souls who can never attain the true death. Death has forsaken them, and their names shall never be penned in the dead book. To awake from death as you have done suggests you are one of these souls. Your existence is unacceptable to our faction. There are souls who cannot attain true death. They just keep on coming back. Unacceptable? That doesn't sound like it leaves me in a good position. You must understand your existence is a blasphemy to them. Oh, who is them now? We were talking about us earlier, right? Uh, to our faction. Now they are saying them. Many of our faction would order you cremated if they were aware of your affliction. You are a dustman, but you don't seem to be in favor of killing me. Why not? Because forcing your beliefs upon you is not just. You must give up the shadow of life on your own, not because we force you to. Dhall looks about to break into another cuffing jack, but he manages to hold it with some effort. As long as I remain at my post, I will protect your right to search for your own truth. What is your post? I'm a scribe, a cataloger of all the shells that come to the mortuary. Dhall coughs again, then takes a deep breath. As long as a stream of corpses flow through the mortuary, I shall remain at my post. You say I've been here more than once. How is that the dustmen do not recognize me? That's an interesting question.
Updated my journal.
I am one of that catalogs the shells. I am one of that catalogs the shells that come to our halls. What? I am the one. Okay, I am the one that catalogs the shells that come to our halls. Restless one. Only I see the faces of those that lie. Only I see the faces of those that lie upon our slabs. The dark of your existence lies safe with me. Okay, he does recognize us, but he's okay. I don't know. He said it felt to me like initially he said he doesn't know anything about us. Tell me more about the mortuary. Sigil wounds. I don't know what sigil is. Sigil is our fair city, restless one. Was this mentioned earlier at some point? I might have forgotten. Fair city. Wounds. Yes, the wounds that decorate your body. They look as if they would have sent a lesser man along the path of true death. Yet it seems as if many of them have healed already. But those are only the surface wounds. Only surface wounds? What do you mean?
Updated my journal.
I speak of the wounds of the mind. You have forgotten much, have you not? Mayhap your true wounds run much deeper than the scars that decorate your surface. But that is something that only you would know for certain. How did I get here? It's notes in content. As if he finds the memory repugnant. Your moldy chariot ferried you to the mortuary, restless one. You would think you were royalty based on the number of loyal subjects that lay stinking and festering upon the cart that carried you. We were dropped here by some sort of chariot. There were a lot of festering, like dead bodies of subjects. Not subjects, just. Okay, loyal subjects. Did we really have loyal subjects? I don't know. Restless one. Restless is as good a time as any. Something keeps you here, does it not? Something that must be resolved. Some passion that must be quenched before you can reach true death. I arrived here on a car.
Updated my journal.
Yes, your body was somewhere in the middle of the heap, sharing its fluids with the rest of the mountain of corpses. Your seneschal Farod was, as always, pleased to accept a few moldy coppers to dump the lot of you at the mortuary gate. Your seneschal. I've heard this term seneschal before. It's some colloquial term for a servant. Let's see if it is a real term or seneschal. The chief steward or butler of a great household. Okay, so Farod is some sort of someone who services us in some capacity. Your seneschal Farod was, as always, pleased to accept a few moldy coppers to dump the lot of you at the mortuary gate. Mortuary. I think it's called mortuary. Oh, is it mortuary? Not entirely sure. Okay, your seneschal Farod. Okay. Who is this Farod? He's a collector of the dead. We have such people in our city that scavenge the bodies of those that have walked the path of true death and bring them to us so that they may be interred properly. Even if the events persist as they have, Restless One, you have much greater chance of Farad finding you and bringing you to us again before you find whatever puddle he wallows in this time. A slight warning creeps into Dhall's phone. Do not seek out Farad, Restless One. I am certain that will simply come full circle again, with you none the wiser and Farad a few coppers richer. Accept death, Restless One. Do not perpetuate your circle of misery. Okay. I have to find him. Do you know where he is?
Updated my journal.
Dhall is silent for a moment. When he finally speaks, he seems to do so reluctantly. I do not know under which gutter stone Farod layers at the moment, but I imagine that he can be found somewhere beyond the mortuary gates in the hive. We have seen a couple of hives in the map around this place. I think we've seen the location sigil maybe in our map screen. We'll have to check that. Perhaps someone there will know where you can find him. Doesn't sound like you like Farod much. There are some I respect, Restless One. Farod is not one of them. He wears his ill repute like a badge of honor and takes liberties with the possessions of the dead. He is a knight of the post. Cross-trading filth. He's a knight of the post, cross-trading filth of the lowest sort. Okay, I was wondering what a knight of the post is. So the king gives us an option to ask. A knight of the post, a thief. All Farod beings to our walls come stripped of a little less of their dignity than they possessed in life. Farod takes whatever he may pry from their stiffening fingers. Dhall pauses considering. Most likely, are we missing anything, especially anything of value? His voice dips as he frowns. Are you missing anything, especially value? Not that Farod will take exception to anything that was physically crafted to your body, and sometimes even that's not enough to give his greedy mind pause. Okay, saying that even something that's physically crafted might go missing. A journal, because of any value, then it's likely it lies in Farod's hands. Oh, goddamn. Again, I've been here more than once. This is something we haven't checked yet. Yes, again, you've been brought here many times before, Lessons One. I had hoped that this time would be your last, considering the wounds you have sustained. When will you give up your passions and leave the shadow of life? It feels like we'll end up. Okay, I don't want to theorize or try to think about what's going to happen, but it feels like this might end up being a circle where the game ends exactly with us wiped, with our memories wiped, and we are just being shuttled to the mortuary again, and we'll repeat this cycle somehow, unable to get rid of our passion. Or maybe it has a more optimistic ending. I don't know. Feels like they are implying that we have tried, like we are kind of incapable of escaping this loop, but somehow okay, we are in the current iteration of whatever this is. Maybe things will be different this time, and we'll see. I had some other questions. I'm still wondering about Shadow of Life. Okay. Do you know who I
Updated
am?
my journal.
I know scan little of you, Restless One. I know little more. I know little more of those that have journeyed with you and who now lie in our keeping. I know little more of those that journeyed with you and who now lie in your keeping. I ask that you no longer ask us others to join with you, Restless One. Where you walk, so walks misery. Let your burden be your own. It seems like whenever we end up dying, coming back here, we are the only one who is getting up again. The rest of the party members, they just go back to they they accept the true death, or like they don't return back, which might be the good thing, but at least it seems like Dhall is fed up with that, and he just does not want us to make any friends anymore. There are others who have journeyed with me, and they are here.
Updated my journal.
Do you know the woman's? Do you know? Do you not know the woman's corpse interred in the memorial hall below? I had thought that she had traveled with you in the past. Dhall looks like he's about to start cursing me. Am I mistaken? Where is her body? I know nothing about her. You said there were others. Who else is there? Okay. Where is her body? The Northwest Memorial Hall on the floor below us. Check the buyers there. What's a buyer? Her name should be on one of the memorial plaques. Mayhap that will revive your memory. Buyers. Buyers. A coffin along with its stand. Check the buyers there. I don't know. I don't recall ever traveling with a woman. You said there were others. Who else is there? Dhall makes no response to this. He simply stares at you in silence. You said there are others. Who else is there? Doubtless there are, but I know not their names, nor where they lie. One such as you has left a path many one such as you has left a path many have walked, and few have survived. Dhall gestures around you. All dead come here. Some must have traveled with you once. All dead come here, is it? Okay. How did I get here? Do you know who I am? I think do you know who I am is where we branched out from earlier. Can you tell me? I'm just intentionally kind of skipping the third question and then looking at the other ones. What do you do here? I am a scribe, a cataloger of all the shells that come to the mortuary. As long as a stream of corpses fall through, I shall remain at my post. Only I see the faces of those that lie on our slabs. The dark of your existence lies safe with me. So if somebody finds out we are a regenerating like restless one, then they'll cremate us immediately. But this person is not giving it away. He has not he has not raised this issue with any of the other testmen or caretakers, and he has his own little moral code where he doesn't want to interject, or like he don't want to enforce the rules of the uh, dustmen by cremating us. He's just letting us find our own truth. He's wishing that we will die a normal death and just go along with stuff. But seems like we are coming back up again. He's kind of dejected at this point. He's too old to be angry, but he's just dejected. Uh, I had some other questions. Can you tell me, do you know who I am? What do you do here? I want to go back to that line of questioning again. But let's ask this one. You sound ill. Are you not well? I am close now to true death, restless one. It will not be long before I pass beyond the eternal boundary and find peace I have been seeking. I tire of this mortal sphere. Dhall gives a ragged sigh. The plains hold no more wonders for such as I. The plains, you know. Eternal boundary, the boundary between shadow of death, shadow of true, shadow of life. Yes, a shadow, you see, restless one. In this life, it's not real. Your life, my life, they are shadows, flickerings of what life was once was. This life is where we end up after we die, and here we remain trapped, caged until we can achieve true death. So this dustmen, right? They seem to believe that the suffering and torment that we feel in this life, it's a shadow of the maybe a more glorious and what's the word, carefree, or not carefree, it's a more happier life that we once had, and this is just a shadow of that, and we should all die and move on. And this world where there is so much pain, we shouldn't exist here so much. And that was the philosophy of the dustmen, right? So shadow of life is not like some transient state. It's just that the whole of this plane is just what they call shadow of life. Like life itself in general is what they call shadow of life, and they've come to the conviction that it's not real anymore, or like it was more glorious, or a less painful once, but now it's in the state and we have to move on. That's why they are trying to rush people along in this state. But we seem to be sticking to life, just normal life in general. What makes you think this life isn't real? What makes you think this life is real? Look inside yourself. Do you feel something lacking? This is purgatory. There is only sorrow here, misery, torment. So this might be a literal statement, or this might be something that they're just referring to. They're like saying, okay, this is hell here. These are not elements that make up life. They are part of the cage that wraps us in this shadow. Oh my God. This is a... Passions carry weight. They anger many to this shadow of life. As long as one clings to emotion, they will continually reborn into this life forever, suffering or knowing. You know, it might not be... obviously, it might not be as simple as that, but it's just an exercise in thought. Okay. Kill your passions. Strip yourself of the need for sensation. When you're truly cleansed, then the cycle of rebirth will end and you achieve peace. It sounds like a death rattle in itself. Pass these shells to the ones. Eternal boundary. Dustmen. Okay. We Dustmen are a faction of gathering of those of us that recognize the illusion of this life. We await the next life and help others on their journey. So you say you think after true death there is a next life, but they're already mentioning that the shadow of life is some sort of a state we achieve after we die. It's I don't have enough context yet, but this guy seems to be giving us a lot of info right here. I didn't expect this conversation to go this long or be this involved. Yes, shadow. You see, ourselves on this life, it's not real. Your life, my life, they're shadows. This life is where we end up after we die, and here we remain trapped, caged until we can achieve true death. I thought for once that this shadow of life is something that they refer to for whatever is happening inside the mortuary, but maybe for the entire world as a whole, they're just mentioning that this existence is just a shadow of life, and that it's an illusion, and that we have to move on to the next one where there isn't so much pain and suffering, maybe. The plains hold no more wonders for one such as I. See, he's saying he's close to true death, so he is in shadow of life. He doesn't want to cling on. He's just attending to everyone who comes through here, who has truly died. He's just cremating everyone. We are someone who, even though we arrive as kind of like a dead body, we kind of rise up again in this plane. I do not wish to live forever, nor live again, restless one. I could not bear it. Okay, can you tell me how to get out of here? The front gate is the most obvious exit, but they will not let anyone other than Desmond pass. Dhall breaks into a ragged cough, then continues. One of the guides by the front gate has a key to it, but it is unlikely he will open it for you unless you are extremely persuasive. I see. Nothing. Farewell, Dhall. As you turn to leave, Dhall speak. Know this, I do not envy you, restless one. To be reborn as you would be a curse that I could not bear. You must come to terms with it. At some point your path will return you here. It's the way of all things flesh and bone. Okay. So he's saying that we'll be back here. Oh, he's looking at us. Oh, look. We can see him. He has a huge blue quill, elf-like ears, it seems like. A very long beard. It's even tied to his chair. There's a lantern, there's a little writing pad or extension to his chair that he has. What was he doing? Okay. He's just distracted now. Oh, he's also coughing. He's totally distracted looking at us. Okay. That was a very insightful and lengthy conversation. Maybe let's just quickly look at the receiving log book again to see if any of this makes more sense. All shells entering the mortuary has to be delivered to the receiving room and logged with the scribe on duty before being embalmed or cremated. So they don't mention of anything about somebody being somebody raising up again. The records are to be checked to determine if the shell is one of the contracted, and if so, do not prepare the shell. Move the shell to one of the preparation rooms. Contact the scribe on duty and notify him that a contracted shell is to be raised. Be certain that the shell is thoroughly stripped of its possessions before sent to the preparation rooms. The contracted workers are intended for simple manual labor. The faction is not responsible for any possessions lost or stolen items to collectors who have bought the shells to Mosri. So this Farod is maybe one of the collectors. I know he called initially referred to him as the Seneschal. So maybe we have a working relationship with Farod where he ferries us back to the mortuary every time we die. The shell's possessions are to be stored in the receiving room until an initiate can be sent to claim them. Please catalog all possessions in the logbook. Following this list is thousands of entries of bodies that have been sent to the receiving room. As you flip through the rest of the book, however, you'll notice the last page has been cut out. Okay. Interesting info. Maybe we'll just quickly check in with...
New Chief.
The death visits the plains every day, Chief. These shamblers are all that less of the poor sorts who have sold their bodies to the caretakers after death. What do you mean, sold their bodies to caretakers after death? Do they get something in return or they're doing it for charity? What is there to be sold? Like, if you won't have any gains after death unless you are convinced that there is a life after that and you're like haggling something for that life, or maybe you're doing it for some other reasons, like you have a family that you want the reward to be received to. Okay, I'll try to remember that. Okay, let's move. Oh, we can talk to him. This walking corpse has number 1094 card into his forehead. Motherson soon shall chemical reeks of fresh formaldehyde hangs in an overpowering cloud around it. Despite the pallid, sunken features and lifeless, milky eyes, it is clear this was once a handsome young man. So, you seen anything interesting going on? Corpse continues to stare at you. You see, I've been trying to click above them, which, see, it has to be on the foot, like at the bottom of the model that you have to click in order to initiate a conversation. The female corpse is making the rounds from slab to slab in the room. Her hair is knotted into a long braid and looped around her neck like a noose. Someone has stenciled the number 1096 onto her forehead and lips. Nice braid. Interesting. The corpse, you doubt it even knows you are there. Oh, wait. Mort is interested. Psst, you see the way she's looking at me? Huh? You see that? The way she was following the curve of my occipital bone? Occipital bone is like at the very top of your vertebra, is it? Because that's the only thing that would remain for something like occipital. Occiput. Back part of the head or skull. Okay, so it's like a bone at the back of your skull. You mean that blank-eyed beyond the You mean that blank-eyed beyond the grave stare? What are you talking about? What are you blind? She was scouting me. It was shameless the way she wanted it to go away maybe. She was obviously too distracted by me to pay attention to some stupid bobbing head with a big mouth. I think you're imagining things. She's a zombie, a corpse, a dead person. You probably didn't even register to her senses. I think you and your imagination may need some time away from each other. Whatever, Mort, let's go. I don't know if these options are going to change our alignment, but it's very hard to sense where any of these are leaning towards. All of these seems to be entertaining, like these are more jokey ones. This is okay. Not more. Let's go. Maybe I should talk to them and maybe choose a different option. Oh no, he doesn't respond anymore. Come on, Mort. Okay, I lost that opportunity to pick a funnier or a more clever answer because they don't show that option again. Okay, so let's talk to some of the other zombies. I'm wondering now if all the Mohawk zombies are male zombies and all the ones without the Mohawk are female ones. That might just be the case. Yeah, and I missed all of these because I didn't click on the bottom portion of their model. The rest of this woman's face looks as if it's curved into the club, and her flesh sags in bruised, swollen clumps over her ruined skull. Number 626. Corpse's right cheek, just below the eye. Nasty wound you've got there. Okay, I think I lost the opportunity with Mort to give any sort of reply. Almost 50. It's someone. It's like someone draped a sheet of cobwebs across her frame. The number 594 has been scratched onto her skull with a charcoal pencil. So doing anything later. Farewell then. Something. Okay, nothing here.
Yeah.
Mort is.
Hey, what's eating you, Chief? Okay.
Done.
This corpse is lumbering along a triangular path. Once it reaches one of the corners of the triangle, it pauses and turns, staggers towards a corner. It has 965 tattooed on the left side of his skull. As you approach, it halts and stares at you. Continue. Hey, looks like someone forgot to tell this door to stop barking the rule of threes. Rule of threes. This corpse don't have much left in the attic, so they can't do more than one task at a time. When they are told to do something, they keep doing it until someone tells to stop them. This poor would probably finish some task and they forgot to tell him.
Updated my journal.
Well, the rule of threes is one of those laws about the planes, about things tending to happen in threes, or everything's composed of three parts, or there's always three choices, so on and so forth. Stop walking the rule of threes. There's a lot of wash if you ask me. It's a lot of. If you look for a number, any number, and try to attach some great meaning to it, you're going to find plenty of coincidences. I see. Before you said someone put this code to task, then forgot to tell them to stop. Who gives these scopes these tasks to do? Interesting. The first option changed to this more expanded sentence now that we had chosen the second option. Either one of the caretakers here, either one of the caretakers here, or else whatever necromancer raised them out of their dead book. Probably one of the caretakers here. They are the ones who need the cheap labor after all. Okay, there's always a sentence that refers to the initial one. So why are you walking in a triangle? So at least we got some info about the rule of threes. His corpse is shuffling from slab to slab, bandaging the corpse lying there. Number 396. Roll of bandages in his hand. Okay, so what happens if we do this? Let's just save. We haven't saved in like an hour, so let's just save the game to be safe. New save. Save. Let's try to do this. You snake your hand out and take the roll of bandages from the corpse's hand. The corpse doesn't even seem to notice. It continues going through the motions of bandaging the bodies. Oh, it was bandaging the bodies. Okay. Okay. Sorry about taking this. It's just that I need them more than the bodies here. Sure. Number 1201 has been inked on the forehead of his corpse, and the ink has run down its eyes, cheeks, and jaw. As you follow the ink tears down the corpse's face, you notice that it has run into the stitching, sealing the corpse's lips, and has caught on what looks like the corner of a knot stuck in the corpse's mouth. The knot has mingled with ichor. What's ichor? What is ichor? A fluid product of inflammation. Okay. Notice mingled thickens. If you try to pull the paper out through the cross stitches, it would tear the paper to shreds. Hacking up the corpse to get it looks like it will destroy the knot. You'll have to find a delicate way to remove the stitches before removing the knot. You have scalpel. Gained item, gained experience. Nameless one. Use the Okay. What is this? Is this some sort of a... What happened here? We got 250 experience by doing this particular thing. So we had a scalpel with which we carefully extracted the knot. Zombie worker. You deftly sliced the stitches, sealing the corpse's mouth, and the jaws sag open. You carefully... Okay, it's not to stop them from talking that they are stitched up. It's because their jaws are... They're sagging. So it's best to keep them closed, stitched up. Carefully pull the knot from the corpse's mouth. Despite the condition of the paper, the writing on it still appears legible. To read notes, books, or scrolls, place them in your inventory. Then right-click on them to bring up the information panel. Story about slicing those stitches. I had to see what was in your mouth. Milky white eyes stare at you vacantly. Okay, let's look at the inventory. We have the receiving room logbook. We can stack these, right? Yeah, we can stack those. Note from corpse. Okay. This is a foul-smelling note received from the mouth of one of the mortuary zombies. It looks like it was sewn into the corpse's mouth by accident. Okay. Despite its condition, the writing is legible. Please, to whatever dustman reads this, I beg of you. I know my legal obligation under the terms of debt contract. Legal obligation under the terms of the debt contract, but I am prepared to offer more than my signing fee if you will cremate my body rather than raising it. Okay, so this is a big mystery probably solved. Let me finish this. I have arranged for this note to be left with my body upon death. I have arranged for this note if you cremate my body rather than raising it. I have arranged for this note to be left with my body upon my death. If you are reading this, then please use this note as instructed and accept the result in exchange for my... Accept the result in exchange. Accept the result in exchange for my contracted duty. Let my contract number serve as the key. It looks like the corpse was too late to prevent the raising, but you notice that beneath the writing is a diagram. It looks like directions for folding the parchment into a strange pattern. If you are reading this, then please use this note as instructed and accept the result in exchange for contract. If you are ever capable of examining an object further or performing an action on the object outside of the world screen. Directions. A use button will appear for the object on this examine screen. This button will allow you to manipulate the item through a dialog screen if you wish to progress and try to see. Is there a quick save? I wish there's a quick save. Maybe it's F5 and F9. Usually those two buttons do quick save and quick load, right? Let me quickly check the controls. Actions. Quick load is L. Oh my god. Quick save is Q. Q, quick save, L for load. Okay. Q is a very... Okay. So let's quick save ourselves and Q. Quick save successful. Okay. If I come here and then L, it'll quick load. Okay. So let's look at the item in our inventory again. There is a use button. I wonder if there's a use button for anything else. There isn't. Other than bandages. Okay. So we open it and we use. The foul-smelling note has a strange-looking diagram inscribed beneath the writing. It looks like it's instructing you to fold the corner of the note so that their points touch the center. There's a series of strange marks on each corner. One mark on the upper right, 2 marks on the lower right, 3 marks on the lower left, and no marks on upper left. 1 mark on upper right, 2 marks on lower right, 3 marks on lower left. He's trying to picture the whole thing. It's a series of strange marks. Fold upper right corner into the center. Everything we can only fold to the center. I can't visualize it. Like, we'll do the 3 corners that I mentioned. Not sure if that's going to have any effect. Upper right, and lower left. Lower right, lower left. Right. It doesn't. Okay. I guess it doesn't matter. They just want everything to touch the center. Upper right. Lower right and lower left. Can we go back and examine it now? It's
Done.
very confusing. Let my contract number serve as the key. So his contract number is probably what is written on his forehead. Right? 1201. I can't make sense of it. Okay. 1201 has been forwarded. Okay. 1201. What could that mean? It even says note from the corpse hash 1201. If you're reading this, please use the note as instructed and accept the result in exchange for my contracted duty. If you're ever capable of allow you to manipulate it. Okay. Upper right, lower left. Upper. Hmm. Maybe say 1, 2, 0, 1. Yep. So it should be 1, 2, 0, 1. 1, 2, 0. And then they let you fold the upper right back into the center again. So you trace 1, 2, 0, 1. And that lets you open it. As you fold the upper left inward to the center, you watch as the upper right unfolds by itself. As you fold the upper left inward onto the center, you watch as the upper right unfolds itself, resuming its normal position. As you fold the upper right corner back to the center, the lower left corner mirrors the action until all corners touch in the center. You watch for a moment and the corners of the paper rise up, turning the note into a small four-sided paper pyramid. I don't know if it's some sort of magical interaction. We just trace 1201 and it does this thing. Okay, interesting. Open the sides of the pyramid. Nameless one. Open the sides of the pyramid. You peel back the sides of the pyramid and the paper disintegrates to dust. Inside a small triangle-shaped earring, it catches the light and gleams brightly. Triangle-shaped earring. Did we get an item? Okay. Triangle earring. Wow, it has a blue color. You received this small earring from folding a note in the mouth of one of the walking corpses in the mortuary. It's a beautiful earring, but despite its beauty, all it seems to do is remind you how strange this world you've woken up in is. Because it's a strange looking earring. Is that why? Some items are magical, but require that they be identified before they can be used. If you cannot determine what an item is at first glance, then you may need to take it to someone with a higher lore skill than you or your party members. Lore skill. Do we have a lore skill? Identify. How would you like to identify this item? Scroll, cancel, spell. So maybe there is a lore spell we can use, or a scroll which is maybe a temporary use of the same thing, which will let us identify this. Maybe once we have a mage or something we can use, I don't know. Lore skill. Interesting. But it's a spell or a scroll. How do you like? Answer. Triangle earring. Shall we put on this earring? Oh, sorry. There is no. Triangle earring. Okay, we have an unidentified earring that we are wearing. We don't know what the effect is. Uh, Done. Okay. Okay, we have made very little progress, as in the grounds covered. Feels like I'm never going to finish this game. Smells like it was applied. This smell of formaldehyde emanating from this corpse is particularly strong. It smells like it was applied recently and with good reason. This corpse appears to be in advanced state of decay. Her jaw is missing and some of the flesh has slid off her skull, revealing the number 1072. The corpse does not respond to your voice. The fact it has no jaw may have something to do with it. Either that or it simply has nothing to say. So one thing to note, the one curiosity that was earlier present was that we were in the preparation room and we were thinking about contracts and what contracts meant. So basically contracts I think are just people who get raised into these zombies. So they maybe get preemptively paid some amount. They preemptively get paid some amount, so it's not for a life after death that they are getting the payment. They're probably getting the payment beforehand, and once they die they get raised into these zombies. That's the contracted ones which are taken to the preparation room. So we were a contracted one, or somehow we ended up in the preparation room. I don't know who did that or why that was the case, but it led me to believe initially that we were a contracted one, and contracted one was not some sort of they were having a better fate than what we are seeing here. It seems they are the one who are left with the worst fate for whatever payment they may have received in their normal life before they died. So that might be the contracted ones, and we are just we just someone who keeps regenerating because we can't leave our like emotions behind, and we keep coming back, and we have even contracted Seneschal or Farod to bring us back here every time, and we have even written like possibly the message on our back. It's difficult to imagine how we get a message on our own back, but it seems like even that might have been written by us, so that we just go right back to Farod, get the journal, get the memories from our previous life, and then forge ahead again to whatever we are trying to accomplish here. And we have a task to go and visit the dead woman who has been with us in a previous life, possibly one of the people who we have been walking with. We obviously don't remember who that person is, but they are somewhere in a room above or below, I think. It's going to be a mess to look at our journal now. There will be so many updates here. I think we should quickly go through these before closing for today. This is kind of not the best situation because we didn't really make much progress. We have only explored a single room and done a lot of theorizing instead. But once we go out here and discover what this game is about, that moment is gone, right? So this is the moment where we can do all this, it feels like. Once that is over, then it's yeah. So let's look at the map and see the hive and sigil. So I hope the map screen reveals the world map reveals. Okay, receiving room, stairs up or down, southwest preparation room. Okay, we get received here, then taken to the preparation room. These are larger tables here. This is smaller table here, but these are larger tables, which is very curious. Why do they need such a large table? These are the ones who might be raised again. We can visit this place again to see if it has more context on it, but maybe not. Uh, it looks like a circular installation, like maybe a cylindrical one, and we have some sort of a hollow shaft in the middle. Not sure what that does. It has the architectural structure of a pregnant spider, is what more described to us. So it might have like something, some character. Maybe it was not that much of a joke. Maybe there was a hint of truth in that somewhere. Okay, so we are near the hive. Why did we have to visit the hive? So the Farod might be somewhere in the hive, or somewhere someone in the hive might be able to tell us where Farod is. Hive. I don't know why what this icon means. I assume that this is where we are. Might not be the case. Hive, the hive, lower ward, clerk's ward, alley of lingering sighs. World map. Buried village. Rag Pickers Square. Yeah, I feel like it's going to be a very bleak world when when we get out of this mortuary. It's just going to look very bleak everywhere. Just okay. What else were we gonna look? Yeah, we were gonna look at the journal quickly to see what has been updated there. Let's see. Did I leave this message for myself? Looks like I'll need to find this Farod and find my journal. Let's, with the more context about Farod, right? Let's go through this again. I don't know who I am. So okay, I've started a new one. I woke up in a place, mortuary. I don't know who I am, what I'm doing here, or even how I got here. The only person I encountered was a chattering skull called Mort. While he was checking my wounds, he discovered a set of directions tattooed on my back. I know you feel like you've been drinking a few kegs. It makes me wonder though, Mort should have seen us all this time, right? It seems Dhall has seen us a lot, but seems Mort is not aware of us. Like Mort is seeing us for the first time. Only Dhall seems to be aware of our previous life. Makes me wonder if Mort has been here long enough. Maybe not. I don't remember of him mentioning how long he has been here. I know you feel like you've been drinking a few kegs of Stigwash, but you need to center yourself. Again, the highlighting on the center. Among your possessions is a journal that'll shed some light on the dark of the matter. Farod can fill you in on the rest of the chant. Chant isn't something that Mort uses. Chant is something that we also use in our journal. So it seems like either it's chanting is just, let me check what chant means, okay? Recite with musical intonation. Recite as a chant or psalm. Utter monotonously and repetitively and rhythmically. That's what I thought. It isn't anything more generic than that, right? Varrod can fill you in on the rest of the chant if he's not in the dead book already. Don't lose the journal or we'll be up the sticks again. And whatever you do, do not tell anyone who you are or what happens to you, or they'll put you on a quick pilgrimage to the crematorium. Do what I tell you. Read the journal and then find Farod. Wait, what? Okay, we have to find the journal first, then find Farod. Isn't the journal in the isn't the journal supposed to be in the receiving room where they take all our possessions out? Did I leave this message for myself? Looks like I'll need to find this Farod and my journal. I met a sickly scribe named Dhall in the mortuary. He knew I had forgotten myself before I even spoke to him. Did I know him before? I lost my memories. I was hoping to get some answers, but this place seemed to breed more and more questions. Day 0, hour 12. Dal told me he's the one responsible for keeping my return visits to the mortuary a secret from the rest of the dustmen. Since he is the scribe in the receiving room, he's one of the only ones who sees my body when it arrives here. So every dustman here believes that people just come in here, die, and then go forward. Like, at least that's the normal expectation. But if there are people like us, they'll probably send us right to the crematorium. But Dahl is kind of not too keen on that idea. He wants us to discover our own truth and like go to the true death in a more natural way than being forced into it. So he's just letting us do our own thing. Dahl suggested that the wounds I have suffered are minor in comparison to the wounds in my mind. He even went so far as to suggest that the wounds I have suffered may be responsible for my loss of memory. Which wounds, though? The mental damage may be much greater than amnesia. The thought makes me uneasy. I wouldn't mind hearing some good news every once in a while. Apparently, Pharaoh delivered my body here in a cart, along with a heap of other corpses. Was I actually dead when he did this? Dal told me that Pharaoh can be found beyond the mortuary in some place called the Hive. He didn't seem to want me to go hunting for Pharaoh, but then again, he's not the one who's lost his memories and woken up from the dead, so he can keep his opinions to himself. Oof. Dal suggested I ask some of the people in the hive where I can find Pharaoh. I asked Dal if he knew me, and he responded that he knew little about me, and even less about the companions that has traveled with me in the past. Apparently, their bodies lie in the mortuary. Perhaps seeing them will cause my memories to resurface. Hopefully, at least some. Dal told me that one of the women who journeyed with me is interred in the memorial hall on the first floor of the mortuary. Memorial hall. Interred basically means that it's burnt or like it's a different but similar thing to cremation, right? Interred. 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 Place in a grave. Place in a grave or tomb. So cremation, I think it's done by fire, right? Cremation. Incineration of a dead body. So cremation, we'll just burn it while what is the other term? When someone's interred, it just means we're just placing them in a grave, not burning their body. So maybe we'll be able to see some preserved version of this woman's body. Maybe. Mort mentioned something about the rule of three. Apparently, some people believe everything tends to happen in three, and they attach great meaning to the number. That's a very interesting thing here. And it seems like the journal there is no section, like there isn't a header to any of these sections. They just go on like this, which makes the enter search term even more crucial, I would say. So maybe let's just search something like, wow, it's a very fast filtering, which is really appreciated. Parod. Very nice. So the entire entry which contains that term will be filtered in. Okay. You can even search for Dhall. Nice. That's nice. So in the beast, I assume okay. In NPC characters we have Dhall. Wow, we have a portrait of Dhall. It might be a zoomed in version of his model, but it looked much less detailed. So this might be a different thing, different model. This elderly scribe looks very old. His skin is wrinkled and has a slight trace of yellow like old parchment, dead charcoal gray eye within an angular face. Large non-human face as eye narrows to pin to points. A large white beard flows down the front of his black robes, like a waterfall. He coughs occasionally. The book he works in front of is huge and seems to contain many names. Okay. Oh my god. So much reading done, but not real progress in a spatial sense. We are still in the same room, sort of, that we started with. Let's quickly go and see if this door is open. You will need a key. We don't have a key. Are we going to return back here? This is such a... I am kind of fed up with this place in a visual sense because of how much time I have spent here. I just want to see something different. Maybe after a while I'll find it interesting to come back again. Okay, I'll quick save. Go in. Zombie worker. Okay, I think we'll stop here. We have made more progress than than our first day. At least we explored 2 rooms today. But let's see. Okay, we'll stop here. We'll stop at the entrance and we'll explore properly tomorrow. Doesn't seem like there is much here. Only this central table, so we'll get maybe an answer of what this table is. Talking to the zombie here, maybe. Not sure. Maybe if you look at the walkable area, we'll see where it leads to. Okay, maybe we go down this path. Or maybe there's something here. No, it all seems to be dark, so maybe we'll go here. Or I think we might be getting a key for this place. Wish we could talk to Dhall about getting a key to this door here. Take it upstairs or downstairs. Maybe go to the memorial hall. We need to go to the guide ultimately to get that key from him to maybe get out, then go find Farod. But the journal, where's the journal? Journal is another question. I assume that journal might have been present in this room where they are storing all the things left behind. Sorry, the possessions of the bodies that are arriving here. But it seems... Oh, what? Okay. I could hear a weird noise. It seems it's not present anywhere here. Oh! Okay. It's not present anywhere here. I thought for a second the game crashed. It just went into minimized mode. Nothing's here. So we need to find... Oh wow, did we miss this door? We completely missed this door on the... Okay, might have been annoying. Okay, this is locked. Imagine if this was... We were able to open this and this was the main path to take. It would have been annoying to watch if that was the case. Okay. So we don't have our journal. Journal should be closer by than Farod. We should be picking up things from the journal and then asking Farod to get a larger update on how things are. But it seems we don't know where the journal is. Okay, we have to stop for today. We are running short on time, so let's do a manual save here. And let's come back tomorrow. Alright.